coffee time with me, Steve. Yeah, that just happened. Hey guys, so I am officially at the halfway point. I am super, super stoked, super proud of myself. Um, and so I wanted to kind of go through how I'm feeling and what's going on my specific journey and what you can expect at day 15. So in day 15, um, I had some issues like, stomach wise, and finally those issues are resolved. If you've been on this program, you can kind of get the whole TMI I'm getting at. So finally, I am resolved. So I was feeling very bloated, even to the point that it was uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable. I was at work and it even hurt my back. Just this feeling, this bloated feeling inside of me. So finally that's over, and it was intense, but it's gone, and I feel great. I don't miss cream anymore. Remember, if you can go back into my journey, I was obsessed, and I'm like, who knew I would slay that sugar dragon, and then, like, here I am missing cream. So I don't miss cream anymore, so that's exciting. Still keeping on my micro goals, so drinking a lot of water. I'm not as where I need to be, like liter wise, but I'm doing that. Lots of planning happening. I want to do some certain things for my life to enrich my life, and maybe I'll make another video on that. Maybe not. So I'm still having almond milk in my coffee, and it is still super satisfying. I have one right here on my table. Yeah, and I'm still kind of like, I'm going to be exploring a little bit more on my recipes. I'm going to be going a little bit more in deep on that. Today, my bestie is coming down, and you can see her channel. She's Practically Becky, or I think it's Practically Becky, or it's Becky. So cooking for both of us will be kind of a challenge because she's low FODMAP and I am Whole30. So we'll find something, I'm sure, that we can both eat. I just have to not have garlic and onions. If you're interested in low FODMAP diets, again, go check out her. So I have a little bit more energy. I did sleep in hardcore because I had a hard time sleeping last night, but that probably has to do with the fact that I had a coffee after work. And I kind of recommend that you don't have coffee after 3 o'clock on this diet, because it actually kicks you in the ass and you're like, what? Especially because I used to drink like a lot of coffee, like doctors told me to stop, but I'm like, nah, addict. But I'm trying to defeat that with my Whole30 experience. So as far as results go, I feel like I've lost a little bit in my face. So I still kind of got this guy, just kind of, yeah, that's right, pinch it, humble yourself there, D. But I got some collarbone action going on, which is kind of not visible in this light, but finally got to go see these ladies. And I definitely physically can see results, especially within my legs, and a little bit in my abdomen, but not as much as we all wish, ladies. But yeah, a little bit in my abdomen and a little bit on my forearms. I never thought my forearms would make a big difference. I guess, like, yeah, right here. So, like, my wrist and stuff. Yeah. And a little bit in my fingers, but not too much up here. But I guess, like, like all weight loss things, it usually happens in the legs first, at least for me. The legs first, then the arms, then, like, face, legs, face, arms, and then, where you want it to be in the end, right? It couldn't be that first, could it? So today I had a lot of energy, so I cleaned up my house, went all Monica Geller, and, like, did a total clean of my house kind of on my day off. It's my only day off this week. I got called in on my other day off when I was supposed to make you a video, and I was too exhausted to make a video. So yeah, gonna do that. Gonna talk about how I'm doing with micro goals and stuff like that in a later video. So let's run through exactly what I've been eating. Like I said, budget wise, I just got new glasses, and you'll see that adventure in a different vlog I'm going to do tonight with Becky, but she doesn't know about it yet, but she'll deal. So I'm getting new glasses. So when you get new glasses, especially for someone like me who has, like, you know, a really bad eye and like you have really poor vision, like, I mean super poor, guys, like super poor. So that's a big chunk of money, and with that big chunk of money, yeah, it kind of kicked me in the teeth with budget wise, which makes it hard to buy fresh produce and food. So on that note, is Whole30 as expensive as, like, you know, people say? I did read up a bunch of articles, like I said, like, you know, do your research, especially even while you're doing it. See other people's perspectives, watch people's video logs, like, you know, do all that kind of stuff and see how that's going. That's a big tip for you. A lot of people were like, oh, this is really expensive, and I can see that, yeah, where getting a bunch of produce is expensive, and the protein part is expensive, especially if you live somewhere where meat is expensive, and here meat is expensive. But there's a lot of ways around it. One is eggs, but, you know, eventually, like, when you're at the halfway point, you're like, really, eggs, more eggs? But eggs are a good, sustainable, like, protein that is good. And, you know, I was reading an article saying that you should eat about 2 eggs a day anyway. So, you know, kind of like, you know, make one of your meals egg-based. I want to start establishing a meatless Monday. So I'm going to do that for the next half, which is my new goal. I'm going to do meatless Mondays, or a meatless day where I'm going all meatless, and I'll just be doing vegetables. So just a bunch of vegetable-based stuff. So a lot of salad, like a salad, a vegetable-based soup, or yeah, vegetable-based soup. Salad, and, like, you know, just a bunch of vegetables, and kind of doing that and just getting that big vegetable intake. And, like, you know, my smoothie, I'll probably be having a bunch of those on that day. We'll see what happens, and I'll tell you what happens, and I'll tell you how I feel after it too. So things that I've noticed, I can smell a lot better. So what does that mean? That means, like, I have a maple coffee that I sadly cannot have. So it's waiting for me for day 31, I think. But I have a maple coffee, and I was organizing my island in my kitchen, and I had to I was putting it away, and I could smell it from the box. And before, I wouldn't, like, you know, what does it matter? But oh my god, I could totally smell it, and I'm like, wow. At work or something, like, you know, someone could open up, like, if someone opened up a candy bar, I could smell the candy bar, and, like, or something like that, and you're like, what? Like, who knew? So, like, this heightened sense of smell is kind of, like, it's kind of surprising to me. Hi. Oh, someone brought his... Did you bring me this? Okay, you go play with that. Okay. So my cat just brought me a toy from his toy bin. He's very much like a dog. So other things. So I'm still hibernating, and yeah, so this is now day 15, and like I said, like, certain things I seem to be behind in according to the average, like, you know, timeline of things. So what to expect later is I'm supposed to expect what they call tiger blood. So this is a bunch of increased energy, and I can't wait for that. A new goal that's coming up is I am going to jump back into my couch to 5K goal. And if you've never heard of what Couch to 5K is, it's basically an interval training to get you back running. I used to be very good at running. I used to do track and field all the time. And then I used to run on my pastimes when I was a teenager. I used to do a lot of walking when I was a teenager too. Things like all through the night. I lived in a very small town. Shout out. But yeah, a small town in Canada. And I would walk from like 9 o'clock until it was dawn. And I would see the dawn fog and like in this purple fog that used to go around the dam and the mill area, which is sadly no longer there. But there, like the mill area and stuff, and I would watch the sunrise. And I used to do that when I was a kid. I used to also watch, there was bats that used to fly over top of like this dam, this waterfall. And I used to sit there and I used to like sit on the bridge and watch that. And like, you know, when I was a teenager. And I wonder, like, you know, now that they've removed a lot of the trees and such, I'm wondering if that still happens. But, you know, kind of used to do that when I was a kid and stuff. I'm obviously not going to have the time or energy to walk all night long anymore. However, I do want to get that energy back, and I want to kind of like, you know, get that whole thing working for not just my body but my heart. You know, and so I'm going to go hand in hand with two different goals. This one was the hard one, and my next one is going to be very hard. Am I going to start it right away? Probably not. Should I? Probably. But it's just, you know, that's what it is. So I'm super excited. Got all of my stuff set up for the Couch to 5K, and I have huge recommendations on what podcast to listen to or what kind of stuff like I've tried apps, I've tried podcasts, I've tried all kinds of YouTube channels, but I have one, ladies and gents, I have one that, you know, speaks to my soul, and she always performs just awesome, and I get the best I guess results, or I get the best motivation from this podcast. So I will give a shout out to that podcast when that happens. That podcast is not going to change, so hey, what's going on with that? And then I'll tell you again, I'll vlog out everything, because vlogging seems to keep me on track. And like I said, you know, before, have something to keep you on track. Have that motivation, have that that community, have that kind of something to keep you going. And for me, it's vlogging. Maybe for you, it will be vlogging. If it's you later on and you want to start vlogging and stuff, give me a link. I will watch you. I will support you. I'll do all that kind of stuff, because, you know, small YouTube communities should stick together. So yeah. That was a really long rant that probably should not have gone that long, but what can you do? So what else? Yeah, my life is pretty busy. Eating is getting a lot easier, especially because I'm not craving anything with bread, and I don't crave sugar anymore. Oh yeah, but that's what I was gonna do. I'm sorry, I got on a tangent. The sugar dragon. Let's talk about that. So I was reading. I've according to the book, of course, like the Whole30 book. Let's talk about the sugar dragon and what the sugar dragon is and how to slay your sugar dragon. So I'm gonna make a whole in-depth video about how to slay your sugar dragon, because I had a big one. And what the sugar dragon is, but like, you know, I can now fully say that I have slain my sugar dragon. I do not wake up wanting sugar. I do not ache. I don't have like anything like that. I have finally defeated that sugar dragon. So I am super stoked about that. I'm super happy about that. I'm gonna move my hair here. Yeah, so super excited about slaying that sugar dragon. Sorry, cat. yeah, so other things. My hair looks really ratty, and I thought it looked really pretty. Do you hate that? Oh, worst. Yeah, so that's what's coming up. Couch to 5K. I'm still in hibernation, still kind of sleeping a lot, and don't beat yourself up when you are. I am eating 3 meals a day. One is like my smoothie. The other is 2 eggs, half a like 2 to 3, I should say 2 to 3. Some mornings I'm famished. 2 to 3 eggs, and 2 different types of vegetables. And for dinner, I usually, if I can afford it, have a chicken breast and then some other vegetable. I have been in love with asparagus these days, so I eat a lot of asparagus. I thought this entire time that I could not have snap peas, and I love snap peas, and I just read that I can, and so I'm so excited to do that for one of my packed lunches. If you've seen my video on my usual packed lunch when I'm at work, because I like to keep it as simple as possible, I'm excited to incorporate that. Yeah, nut mix is a big one for me. There are certain nuts you are not supposed to have, so make sure that that is compliant. Yeah, and like, you know, you're kind of sneaking in that protein. It's just lots of vegetables, lots of vegetables. The sleeping is coming around, and yeah, that's about it. So I can't wait to read your comments, or like, you know, hear all of your concerns, or I don't know, I'm rambling on. But yeah, so like, comment, and you know, reach out if you need to reach out, and I will see you guys soon with other videos. Okay, bye.